Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We'll start with our prayers. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishram Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadabhyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So welcome everyone. So today we'll be completing the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So far we have discussed how Sudha Goswami starts the history of Bhagavatam, and then after describing the history of Bhagavatam, he goes on to describe the events leading to the birth of Parikshit Maharaj. But in between, he takes a detour and he starts the description of Kunti Maharani offering prayers, and then Krishna leaving Hastinapur and then entering Dwarka. The feelings of separation and the union were described. And then after that, in the 12th chapter, again, sages, they remind Suta Goswami, please tell us about Parikshit Maharaj's birth, activities, and death. So then Suta Goswami again starts the description of how Dhritarashtra, he was not leaving the palace, he was not taking renounced order. So Vidura, he came back and he gave him strong instructions. And as a result, Dhritarashtra along with Gandhari, they left. Then after that, we saw that Arjuna, he had gone to Dwarka. He did not return for many months. Yudhishthira Maharaj was becoming disturbed because he was seeing so many inauspicious omens. And then as Arjuna came, he was feeling very, very dejected, very morose. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj asked so many different speculative questions about the reason of Arjuna's dejection. And then ultimately in the 15th chapter, we saw that Arjuna tells Yudhishthira Maharaj, now I have become bereft of my most dear friend, Vanchitoham Maharaja Haruna Bandhurupina, Yena me aparitam tejo deva miswapanam mahat. And then he remembers the beautiful intimate dealings of Krishna with Arjuna. And then he gives all the credit, whatever happened in the life of Pandavas. He gave all the credit. Krishna saved them. Because of Krishna, they became victorious. Because of Krishna, they could do everything. And then saying that Arjuna, he spoke very, very beautiful verse. He says, now I am remembering the instructions which were given by Krishna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He starts remembering the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, and he became completely equipoised, fixed in transcendence. And then as Yudhishthira Maharaj came to know that Krishna has departed, so he also made a plan to go back home, back to Godhead. He appointed this Parikshit Maharaj as the king, and then Janmejay on the Vajranab on the throne of Dwaraka, and Parikshit Maharaj on the throne of Hastinapur. And then he left without telling anyone. And all the Pandavas, they individually came up to this conclusion that now they have to give up this palace and the kingdom, and everybody walked towards Himalayas. And then Draupadi and Gandhari, they also followed their husbands, although none of their husbands, they asked them. And then 17th chapter, started the description of the activities of Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj's enthroning on the Hastinapur throne was described in the 16th chapter. 17th chapter started with the description of the activities of Parikshit Maharaj, and that chapter described how Parikshit Maharaj, when once he was ruling, he saw the symptoms of falsity, cheating, avarice, violence against the living entities. He understood that Kali must have entered. He went on an excursion, conquer expedition, and he conquered whole Jambu Dweepa, not just Bharatavarsha, not this earth planet. He conquered whole Jambu Dweepa. And then once, as he was traveling in the forest, he saw a Shudra dressed as a king beating a bull and cow. He heard the conversation between the bull and the cow, and then he asked the bull, "Who is the cause of your distress?" Bull said, "I don't know the cause of who is the cause of my distress. You use your intelligence and come to the conclusion." Parikshit Maharaj, he recognized that this is religion personified, and he said, "Don't worry, I'll punish this Kali." He took out his sword, and as he was about to kill Kali, he gave up the dress of the king and he surrendered to Parikshit Maharaj. And then he prayed for mercy. Parikshit Maharaj, being an ideal ruler, he did not kill him, but he said, "You cannot stay in my kingdom." And then Kali personified, he said, "But wherever I'll go, it is your kingdom." Parikshit Maharaj was a ruler of whole Jambudvipa. So he requested, "Please give me few places where I can stay." Parikshit Maharaj, out of mercy, he gave 4 places. Dyutam, Panam, Striya, Sunam. Wherever these 4 things are going, you can reside, happening, you can reside there. Meat eating, intoxication, gambling, and illicit sex. Kali Yuga said, "But these things are not there in your kingdom. Please give me some more place." So then he gave he told that wherever there is excess accumulation of gold, you can stay there. And as a result, Parikshit gave place to Kali, and then after that it is described that Parikshit Maharaj, he re-established the 3 legs of religion, and Mother Earth was also restored in her original glory. And as he was ruling the kingdom, everybody was happy. So that was the 17th chapter. Now in this 18th chapter, Suda Goswami describes the events. 18th and 19th chapters, they describe the events which are leading to the renunciation of Parikshit Maharaj. So 18th chapter is entitled as Parikshita, cursed by a Brahmana boy. So Suda Goswami describes that Parikshit Maharaj, when he was in the womb of his mother, he was saved by Krishna. And he tells that, Parikshit Maharaj was such a great devotee that he was not fearful even though he was cursed to death. And when he was cursed to death, he gave up all the material contamination, association, and he surrendered to Shukdev Goswami, and he gave up his body on the bank of Ganga. So then Parikshit Maharaj, Suda Goswami describes the glorious death of a devotee. For a devotee, he is not fearful of death. For a non-devotee, Chakravarti Thakur describes at one place the difference between the death of a devotee and the death of a non-devotee. And he describes in a very amusing, by giving a very wonderful example. He says that for a devotee, for a non-devotee, marriage is like the death is like arranged marriage. For the lady, for the girl who does not know who will be her husband and in-laws, she's always fearful because she does not know who will be her in-laws, her husband. But for a girl who is in love with somebody and she's getting married to that person, so she's not in any fear, any anxiety. She's completely peaceful. So Chakravarti Thakur says that, for a devotee, death is like love marriage. For a non-devotee, death is like arranged marriage. See, nothing against arranged marriage or love marriage. I'm not there supporting love marriage or against arranged marriage, but that is what the definition example given by Chakravarti Thakur. So the point he wants to make is, for a devotee, he is not fearful of death because he knows that after I die, I am surely going to the spiritual world. I am going to meet Krishna. So therefore, there is no confusion for a devotee. Nottama shloka vartanam jashutam tat kathamritam sat sambhramonta kalepi smaratam tat padambujam. So for a devotee who is always engaged in uttama shloka varta, is always hearing about the glories and the pastimes of Krishna, he never ever undergoes confusion in his life. He never becomes disturbed. He never becomes distressed, confused, discouraged. He always has faith. Krishna is there to protect me. Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Because he's always remembering Krishna. Syat Sambhramo Anta Kalepi. Even at the time of death, he does not suffer any misconceptions. Generally, at the time of death, because the body is so weak, all the elements of the body are disturbed. One cannot even think properly. But a devotee does not have to worry about that condition. Oh, what will happen when I'll die? Will I be able to remember Krishna? Will I be able to, chant the names of Krishna? At that time, devotee is not so much concerned. Devotees are concerned about the present. What I can do now. Now I can chant, now I can read Bhagavatam, hear Bhagavatam, serve devotees. So devotees are not so much fearful about the future. They focus on the present. Because they knew that for sure Krishna is there, he is there to protect me. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana pariyupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Krishna describes in Bhagavad Gita, I protect my devotees, I provide what they lack, I protect what they have. Kaviraj Goswami also describes, Sei bhakta dhanya jena chhade prabhur charan, Sei prabhu dhanya jena chhade nijajan. That Lord is great who never leaves his devotees, and that devotee is great who never leaves the Lord. दुर्दैवे सेवक यदि जाए अन्य स्थाने से प्रभु धन्य तारे चूले धरियाने. Somehow, if the devotee gets distracted from the path of bhakti and goes away, Krishna personally takes care. He intervenes in the life of his devotees and brings the devotee back to the process of bhakti. Syat sambhramo anta kalepi jushatam tat kathamritam. Jushatam, because they are completely engaged in the Katha of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they do not have any misconception. They do not have any fear. Another example is given for to explain the death for a devotee and the non-devotee. For a non-devotee, death is like cat carrying the mouse. For a mouse, cat, the jaws of cat is death personified. But for a devotee, this death is compared to cat carrying small kitten. For a kitten, the jaws of the cat is a loving embrace of its mother. So similarly, for a devotee, he is not at all disturbed. Oh, what will happen to me? Where will I go? That is the process. That is the faith we have to develop. We will develop. Only thing we have to do is we have to keep chanting, keep associating with devotees, and keep reading Bhagavatam, because throughout Bhagavatam is filled with the stories of devotees who have shown by their personal example how to respond when problem comes in the life. And this 18th and 19th chapters describes in great detail the consciousness of the devotees of the Lord. In what way they respond when the problem comes. So therefore, Sudha Goswami says that Kali could not flourish after it was punished by Parikshit Maharaj. But Parikshit Maharaj, he was not envious of Kali. Parikshit Maharaj because he was a pure devotee. One of the qualities of a pure devotee is he has equal vision. Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara sama dukkha sukakshami. So it is described, a devotee of the Lord is adveshta, he never envies anyone. Maitra karuna evacha, he is friendly to everyone, he shows mercy to everyone, just like Yudhishthir Maharaj. He was called as Ajata Shatru, means the person who has no enemies. So Yudhishthir Maharaj, he never ever considered Kauravas as his enemies. Kauravas, they considered Yudhishthir Maharaj as his enemy. But Yudhishthir Maharaj never had any grudges. He was just trying to defeat them to establish the principles of religion. But personally, he had no grudge. Similarly, Parikshit Maharaj, he was not envious of Kali. Like a bee accepts the essence of the flower, Parikshit Maharaj, he knew the good quality of Kali Yuga. Somebody may say, Kali Yuga mein kya? What is the good quality in Kali Yuga? Lowest of all the ages. What is a good quality? Nanudveshti kalim samrat saranga iva sarabhut krishnani ashrisadhyanti netarani kritaniyat. So very interestingly, very beautifully, Sud Goswami describes the good qualities of Kali Yuga. Actually, in the previous ages, the people, they were so pure. They would not even think anything wrong in their mind also. And because they were so pure, if they would think something wrong, some sinful, just thinking will give them some reaction. But in Kali Yuga, if that happens, will not even survive. Every second in a day, many times sinful thoughts come. So Sudha Goswami describes that Kali Yuga has a wonderful symptom. Wonderful feature of Kali Yuga is good quality of Kali Yuga is Kushalani Ashu Siddhyanti. The auspicious acts, they bear results just by intending, just by desiring, just by thinking. You think of something, doing something good, and you get the benefit of that. Netarani kritaniyat. But the sinful results, sinful acts, they bear the result only after acting. That's a beautiful quality of Kali Yuga. So therefore, this Kali Yuga, this Kali Purusha, he is troubling those people the most who are not intelligent. Those who are less intelligent, they can easily get deceived. They can easily fall down to irreligious principles. Therefore, the scriptures, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, teaches us the principles of religion. And therefore, we have to regularly read what is expected out of us. Because these scriptures, they carry the aroma of the lotus feet of the Lord. Marganti yatte mukupadmanide chandaistu parnai rishayo vivikte yasyagamarsho dasharidvaraya parampadam tirtha padam prapanna. So the great clear-minded sages, the devotees of the Lord, what they do? They just focus on the lotus feet of the Lord and lotus face of the Lord. And how do they focus? By hearing the glories of the lotus feet and the lotus face from the scriptures. So the scriptures, they are like the winds which carry the fragrance of the lotus feet of the Lord. On the lotus feet of the Lord, there are tulsis, which is mixed with camphor and kesar. There's a beautiful fragrance which comes from lotus feet of the Lord. When we read scriptures, when we read Bhagavatam, we can experience that aroma. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj, he was aware of this, that Kali Yuga will affect those people the most who are ignorant, who are very, very foolish people. So he took special care of those foolish people. So now after describing this, Suta Goswami says, "O great sages of Naimisharanya, you have asked me 4 questions and I have described you everything whatever you have asked." So hearing that, the Suta Goswami ended the narration, the sages became disturbed. Arey ruko, itni jaldi khatam mat karo. They are not happy, chalo khatam ho gaya class, Hari bol, Mahaprasade Govinde. No. They were more and more eager to hear Krishna Katha. So they start glorifying Suta Goswami. Sometimes you have to encourage the speaker. Now there is no scope when we are doing online classes. There is no scope for encouragement. So, but still, so that these sages, they were encouraging Sud Goswami that, oh great sage, may you live for many years, may you have eternal fame. You are so glorious, such a great devotee of the Lord. You are glorifying Krishna Katha. You have described in so very great details. You know what has happened to us? We have decided to do yajna for 10,000 years. But with that yajna, what had happened? Only our bodies had become black because of the smoke of the sacrifice. Dhum dhumrat manam bhavan. Because of the smoke which was coming from the sacrificial fire, our bodies were becoming black. That's all. Nothing else was happening. There was no purification. But now, after we have heard this Krishna Katha from your lotus mouth, we are intoxicated. We are intoxicated by the hearing the very beautiful nectarian narration about the lotus feet of the Lord. Because you are there, we are getting purified. So then he describes the power of association. Tulayam lavenapi nasargam na punarbhayam bhagavat sangi sangasya martyanam kimutashisha. So the sages says, even a moment of devotees association. Tulayam lavenapi. Lava means a moment. A moment means even a fraction of a second. Tulayam lavenapi. That association is more powerful than going to heaven or getting liberated. Just by getting a little association of a great devotee of the Lord, one gets much more benefits than getting swarga or even liberation. Then what to speak of other worldly benedictions? We don't want anything of this world. We are just concerned with hearing Krishna Katha. That is the power of association of great devotees of the Lord. Therefore, throughout the Bhagavatam, all the devotees of the Lord, they are asking for one thing. Just imagine if Krishna comes in front, one day in the morning we are chanting, and so, as we open our eyes, Krishna is there in front and he says, oh my dear devotee, please ask, what do you want? So then many times, most of the times we'll be having our list ready. Bhagwan, मैं wait कर ही रहा था कब आप प्रकट होंगे. All this list is ready. But our desires, our aspirations, they should be in line with the aspirations of the pure devotees. Bhagavatam transforms our aspirations. Before we came to Krishna consciousness, our aspiration was Dhanam Janam Sundari. After we came to Krishna consciousness, Na got added in before everything. Na Dhanam, Na Janam, and Na Sundari. That is the power of association. How we got this conviction? Just by being in association of devotees. So therefore, all the devotees of the Lord, even after Krishna comes in front of them, Dhruv Maharaj is asking, please give me association of devotees. Bhaktim moho pravahatam tvai me prasango bhuyadananta mahatam amala shayanam yenam jasolbanmuro vyasanam bhavabdem neshe bhavad gunakatha mritapana mattah. Dhruv Maharaj is saying, please give me association of your devotees, O my Lord, because if I'm in association of devotees, very easily I'll cross this ocean of material existence. So therefore, these sages, they are also glorifying the association of Suta Goswami. And they say, we are not satiated. Don't worry, hum log thak gaye, ho gaya, khatam karo bas, enough is enough. No. They are saying, keep glorifying, keep reciting. Because who can be satisfied hearing Krishna Katha? I was once in some college program. I asked some boys that, all these Bollywood movies, how many of you have seen one Bollywood movie for more than 5 times somebody raised hand, 10 times, few people raised hand, 15 times one was there, 20 times nobody. But when it comes to hearing Krishna Katha, every festival we are hearing about Krishna, every year about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Narsimha Dev, but still we are not satisfied. That is the power of Krishna Katha. Nitya Nava Navayman. Krishna Katha is always newer and newer. So therefore the sages they say, Ko nama tripyetra savit kathayam mahattamekanta parayanasya nantam gunanam agunasya jagmu yogeshwaraye bhavapadma mukhyah. Ko nama tripyet, who can be satisfied by chanting your names, chanting the names of the Supreme Lord? Mahattamekanta parayanasya. So the great devotees of the Lord who are surrendered to Supreme Personality, they are never ever satisfied. Because the glories of the Lord are unlimited. It is said that since the beginning of the creation, this Ananta Shesha, who is holding this entire Bhumandal, he is chanting the glories of Krishna since the beginning of creation. And till now, he has not stopped. Till now, he has not completed the glories. So the glories of Krishna are unlimited. It is said that even if somebody can count the rays of the sun, the dust particles, and the snowflakes, still, even if somebody can count, possible nahi hai, but still, even if scientists can do this, still they will not be able to count the glories of the Supreme Lord. So therefore, nobody can be satisfied. We can keep on hearing Krishna Katha every day without any stop, So therefore, all the sages, they again say, there are some qualities of a speaker, some qualities of hearer, and the qualities of subject matter. The ideal qualities are described by the sages of Naimisharanya. What should be the quality when we are hearing? What should be our consciousness? If somebody is speaking, what should be his consciousness? And what should be the quality of this subject matter? So they say, Tanno Bhavan Vai Bhagavat Pradhano Mahattamekanta Parayanasya Harerudaram Charitam Vishuddham Shushrushatam no Vitanotu Vidwan. So they say, Tanno Bhavan Vai, O Suta Goswami, you are Bhagavat Pradhana. You are a great devotee of the Lord. And Mahattamekanta Parayanasya, you have taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the quality of a speaker. The more the speaker is pure, qualified, a great devotee of the Lord, he can become a transparent via medium. As Prabhupada would say, that I have not added anything, I have not subtracted anything, I am just giving the message as it is. One person came to Srila Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, I have read your Bhagavad Gita. Your Bhagavad Gita completely matches with the commentary of Ramanujacharya. Prabhupada said, thank you very much. So in the today's world, if some author has written a book and if somebody comes and tells, Arey, aapka jo book hai na, this is exactly the copy of that book. So it will be a great offense. But Prabhupada, he was happy. He said, thank you very much for appreciating me. So Prabhupada was always in this mood. I am giving whatever is spoken by the acharyas. That is the qualification. We are giving whatever we have got without keeping anything for ourselves. We become transparent via medium. So that is the quality of a great devotee. Mahattamekanta Parayanasya. And Prabhupada was so heavy that if somebody would not follow the scriptural rules and regulations and he would blame God, he was very, very heavy. One person, he had written a book about Jagannath, and he had compared Jagannath with the soul, and he invited Prabhupada for this inauguration of this book. So Prabhupada came and he started speaking, he started glorifying all the activities of Krishna consciousness movement, and then he was speaking all the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. So this person who had called Prabhupada, the author, he became disturbed. He started becoming restless. Arey, Swamiji is not speaking about my book. So he sent a chit. Swamiji, please speak about my book. Prabhupada read that and he continued speaking about his activities and Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. This person became so disturbed. He got up and he took a mic and said, now Swamiji will speak about my book. Prabhupada said, this book compares Jagannath with the Atma. This book is bogus. Nobody should read this book. And this person was completely devastated. Arey, kyun bula liya inko, you know. So that was Prabhupada. Very, very transparent. He was never compromising. That is the quality of a speaker. Bhagavat Pradhan and Ekanta Parayana. He surrendered to Krishna and is the greatest of the devotees. Then what is the quality of a hearer? Shushrushatam no vitano tu vidwan. The hearer should be eager to hear more and more, you know. As we hear in the story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he met Ramanand Rai, and Ramanand Rai is speaking about the philosophy of Krishna consciousness and various levels of the rasas. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, प्रभु कहे आगे कह सुनते पाए सुखे अपूर्वामृत नदी बहे तुम्हारा मुखे. Mahaprabhu says, please keep on reciting the glories of Krishna. Nectar is flowing from your mouth. Shunite pae sukhe, it is so very pleasing. Manohara, you know, Krishna Katha is very, very pleasing to the mind and the ears. Priya Shravasi and Manohara. So that is the quality of a hearer. And then what are the qualities of a subject matter? Hare Rudaram Charitam Vishuddham. The subject matter should be about Krishna, pure and very, very magnanimous pastimes of Krishna should be discussed in association of devotees. So therefore, after glorifying Krishna, after glorifying the qualities of Suta Goswami, after glorifying Krishna Katha, the sages, they again request Suta Goswami, "O Suta Goswami, please explain how Parikshit Maharaj attained Lord's lotus feet." So they say, please describe these narrations. The narrations of Supreme Lord are unlimited. They are purifying. They are very, very wonderful. Tanna param punyam asamritartham akhyanam atyadbhuta yoga nishtham akhyahyananta charitopapannam parikshitam bhagavatabhiramam. So they say the pastimes of the Lord, they are supremely purifying. Param punyam. They are atyadbhut. They are supremely wonderful pastimes. They are filled with devotion. The Krishna Katha and Vaishnava Katha both are equally potent. So the sages are saying, please tell us about Parikshit Maharaj. The activities of Parikshit Maharaj are full of bhakti yoga. Please tell us about Parikshit Maharaj, because he was a Bhagavata Bhiramam. He was a great devotee and he was dear to the devotees. So therefore, Suta Goswami, please tell us about Parikshit Maharaj. So after Suta Goswami hears this, he submits his own fallen condition. He says, I am a low-born person, but because Suta Goswami was born from a Romaharshan Suta, and he was a Suta. Suta means not a Brahmana. But then Suta Goswami says, but in association of devotees like Shukdev Goswami and the great sages, I became purified. And then he glorifies the holy names of the Lord. The holy names are so very powerful. Anybody can become purified, even if he's born in a family of dog eaters. So therefore, it is mercy of the devotees of the Lord that I am able to speak something. Supreme Lord is so very merciful that he is giving me opportunity to glorify him. That Supreme Lord is attracting the Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi is called Chanchala. Chanchala means she does not stay at one place. People in this world, they are after Lakshmi. But Lakshmi is after whom? Lakshmi is after Krishna. One time one businessman came to Prabhupada and he was asking, Swamiji, ye sab aapne kaise kiya? So he was asking about Prabhupada's preaching, exploits, how in just few years, Prabhupada made this whole worldwide movement. So he was asking, Swamiji, aapne kaise kiya? So Prabhupada said, हम पेड़ के नीचे बैठा, कीर्तन किया और सब हो गया. नहीं स्वामी जी, और क्या किया? He said, और क्या, हमने कीर्तन किया, लोग आए, प्रसाद खिलाया और सब हो गया. So he was not able to understand that this is the mercy of the Supreme Lord, So like everybody is after Lakshmi, but Lakshmi is after whom? Because Srila Prabhupada, when he went to America, he went with 40 rupees. He came back to India. One businessman asked him, Swamiji, can you show some miracles? So he said, Arey, my miracle is, when I went to America, I went with 40 rupees and I came back, I had 40 crore rupees. And this businessman was completely surprised. Wow, that is a miracle. So people of this world, they are after Lakshmi, but Lakshmi is attracted to Narayan. So if you worship Narayan, for sure Lakshmi will come. So therefore Sut Goswami is glorifying Krishna, that how Lakshmi Devi is serving Krishna, and Ganga, who is supremely purifying the whole planetary system, all the 14 worlds. The Ganga is coming from the toenails of the Supreme Lord. So therefore he says that just by serving the devotee, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, one can become purified. And he says, now I'll speak about the great devotee Parikshit Maharaj, and I'll describe about the pastimes of Lord Vishnu as far as my knowledge and realization allows me. Like a bird flies in the sky as per his capacity. People, just devotees, they think when I tell devotees, start preaching. कितना सुन रखा है आपने, you have heard Katha, Krishna Katha and Bhagavat Katha since so many years. You are devotees, you start preaching. Nahi, Prabhuji, I am not qualified, I don't know anything, what will I speak, how will I speak? So Prabhupada, he sent his initial disciples who were just few months old in Krishna consciousness. He sent them all over the world. The first 3 couples who went to London, they were just 6 months old in Krishna consciousness. Most of us, we have spent many years in Krishna consciousness. So there is no restriction. It is not that some people have this idea, some devotees think, जब तक पूरा भगवद गीता, भागवतम, चैतन्य चरितामृत पूरा खत्म नहीं करूंगा ना प्रभु जी, तब तक मैं प्रचार शुरू नहीं कर सकता, तब तक कन्विक्शन नहीं आता है. No, Sut Goswami is saying here, as far as my capacity goes, I will preach. Maitreya Rishi, he also tells to Vidura, he says, I will glorify Krishna Katha as far as my capacity, as far as my realization. Otherwise, Giram Anya Abhidha Asati, my tongue will become unchaste. So therefore, if I am not glorifying Krishna, everything is given by Krishna. If I am not glorifying Krishna, I am unchaste towards Krishna. So therefore, it is responsibility of every one of us. Pranachayar sehetu prachar. Preach this message of Krishna consciousness. Just find someone, in your vicinity, in your neighbors, in your office, someone you find, you tell something about Krishna. Find out favorable people. People are there everywhere who are eager to know about Krishna. Problem is, we think किसी को जरूरत नहीं है. Everybody is absorbed. No, people are there eager. Problem is, we are not approaching. One time Gaur Prabhu was saying that there is no lack of people who are interested in bhakti. Problem is, our desire is not strong. We are not desiring enough to give them Krishna consciousness. We should not think, अरे जब तक पूरा pure devotee नहीं बनूंगा ना प्रभु जी, तब तक प्रचार नहीं शुरू करेंगे. If that is the case, only few devotees will be able to preach. So Bhagavatam and Krishna conscious philosophy is for everyone. Anybody can preach. Just like Sut Goswami is saying, I will describe about Krishna's pastime as far as my knowledge and realization allows me. So now, Sut Goswami is rejoicing his good fortune. I am so fortunate I got association of devotees. And then he starts speaking about Parikshit Maharaj. So he describes that one day, Parikshit Maharaj, he was on a hunting expedition and he became very fatigued and hungry. So he was searching for water and food. Somehow in the forest, he found a hermitage. He entered the hermitage. He saw that there was a rishi. His name was Shamika Rishi. He was absorbed in meditation. He was completely in samadhi. All his external senses were closed. He was completely focused on the Supreme Lord in his heart. So as Parikshit Maharaj entered, this Shamik Rishi did not even realize that the king of the whole planet, not only the planet, the whole Jambu Dweepa, he has come. He remained absorbed in samadhi. So Parikshit Maharaj, he did not feel happy. He felt neglected. He felt, just see, a king has come, and this person is not giving me any respect, any welcome. So therefore, he became a little disturbed and angry and agitated. He considered neglected. So, this anger which Parikshit Maharaj showed at that time, it was unprecedented. Never ever in the history Parikshit Maharaj behaved like this, because he knew the glory of the devotees, the sages, the brahmanas. But this time he became overcome with anger, and what he did, there was a dead snake lying on the ground. He took that snake with his bow, and he put that snake around the neck of this sage and left. So therefore, Parikshit Maharaj, how could he do this? A great devotee of the Lord, Bhagavata Bhiramam, how could he do this mistake? So actually, this pastime shows that no situation in the world is safe. Parikshit Maharaj was cursed in a peaceful forest. There was no one to trouble him. But when time comes, you cannot go against the laws of nature. Generally people fear snake, but when the time of death comes, even dead snake is sufficient. So why Parikshit Maharaj did this? It was the desire of the Lord. It was the desire of the Lord that Srimad Bhagavatam had to appear. So that's why Parikshit Maharaj became angry, and he became thirsty, and therefore Parikshit Maharaj, who tolerated Brahmastra, just imagine, in the womb of his mother, he tolerated Brahmastra. So could he not tolerate that small thirst and hunger? It was all the arrangement of the Lord. It was not an ordinary event. Parikshit Maharaj was not an ordinary king of this world. He was a great devotee of the Lord. So then Parikshit Maharaj, he put that snake and then he left. And as he was leaving, he contemplated, oh, was that sage actually in trance, or was he showing because he did not want to welcome me? So as he left, the son of this sage called Shringi, he came to know that his father was not treated properly by this king, and he became so angry. He was a 5 years old boy. Just see, 5 years old boy, what words he's speaking. He says, just look at the sin of the rulers. These rulers, they are like crows and the watchdogs. They should stand at the door, but just see what they are doing. They are acting against their masters. Heavy words. 5 साल का बच्चा किसको बोल रहा है? The ruler of the whole Jambu Dweepa. He's saying, just see, what these kings they think of. Just like a dog is not allowed to enter the house, these kings, they are not allowed to enter the sage's hermitage. But just see the impudence of this king. After the departure of Supreme Lord Krishna, all these kings, they have lost all their Brahmanical Kshatriya qualities, and they are behaving in a wrong way. Now I myself will take this matter in my hand. I'll punish this impudent king. Just see my power. Saying these words, he took the water from the river and he cursed Parikshit Maharaj that from 7th day from today, this king will be killed by biting of a snake called Takshaka. And then he came to his ashram, and as he saw the father being garlanded the dead snake, he started crying very loudly. Hearing the cry of his son, Shamik Rishi opened his eyes. He saw that there was a dead snake. He, casually he through that snake, and he asked, "Kya ho gaya? Why are you crying?" So Shringi, he told the whole story. And Shamik Rishi, he heard, he became completely embarrassed and shocked. He regretted. He said, "Oh, you have committed a great sin." So Shringi, he was such a small Brahmana boy, but he did not have the understanding of how to use the Brahminical power, when to use, where to use. You know, he could not understand the severity of his punishment. You know, the devotees, they say that, you know, this is the point from where the Brahminical culture started falling. The Brahmanas, they started falling down from their standards from this point onwards. You know. Because Shringi, he was a small boy, and just for small mistake, it was not even a sin, just a mistake. He cursed the most respectable statesman to die in 7 days. You know, and Shamik Rishi, he became very, very sorry, and he told Shringi that, you know, because we have cursed this king, if king is dead, then there will be no saintly king to rule this planet. There will be whole social disruption. Varnashram system will be destroyed. Varna Sankaras will be born. You know, this Varna Sankara concept is always there in the mind of the saintly people. Arjuna was also talking about this Varna Sankara. Sankaro naraka yeva kulagnanam kulasya cha padanti pitaro hiesham luptapindo dakakriyah. He was also saying, if I kill all these, women will become unprotected, they'll be exploited by the unscrupulous men, and the result will be unwanted progeny. Shamik Rishi is saying, if king is not there, the whole Varnashram system will be destroyed. Varna Sankaras will be born. He said, you should not have cursed the great king. He is a great king. Not only he is a great king, he is a pious king. He's such a wonderful ruler. He's highly celebrated. He's a first-class devotee of the Lord. Mahabhagavato Mahan. He's a Rajarshi. He's a saintly king. He has performed so many yagyas. Therefore, he did not deserve to die. But what you have done? You have done a great sin. So then Shamik Rishi thought that, you know, there is no way my boy can atone for this sin. This is a unpardonable sin. So therefore, as a father, he prayed to the Lord, "Oh my Lord, please forgive the impudence and sinful behavior of my son." You know. So when the anger and arrogance, they arise in people, they misuse their power, they misuse their position. And if somebody is given power without self-control, it can create disaster. You know, that's why in the earlier times, the knowledge was given to Brahmanas. You know, that is why this Eklavya, he was denied the knowledge by Dronacharya. Eklavya was from a Shudra family. He wanted to learn this martial art, just like the Arjuna and all the Pandavas and Kurus. Dronacharya did not accept him as his disciple because he knew that Shudra, this person is Shudra, he has no self-control. If he is given power and knowledge of these weapons, he'll misuse it. He'll use it for destructive purposes. So therefore, the Brahmanas were very, very qualified. But when the Brahminical culture started falling down, everything started collapsing. You know. So then Sud Goswami says that although Parikshit Maharaj was cursed, but still he did not retaliate. The king, as a king, he had the power to counter curse, and he had the power to make that curse ineffective. But Parikshit Maharaj did not do that. He was such a great devotee. Although a devotee, he is cheated, criticized, insulted, beaten, even if they are tried to be killed, they do not react, even if they are capable of doing so. Tiraskrita vipralambta kshapta shipta hatapi nasya tat pratikurvanti tadbhakta prabhavopihi. Tiraskrita, even if somebody is criticized. Vipralabdha, he is defamed. Shapta, Shipta, Hata, Api, cheated, insulted, and beaten. Na asyatat prati kurvanti. They never do pratikar. They never retaliate. Tad bhakta prabhavopihi. This is important. Even if somebody is qualified, they do not retaliate. One time there was a man standing in a train, local train, and somebody, and he asked that there was one person standing in front, so he asked, "Bhai sab, time kya hua hai?" So this person gave him a slap. He was shocked. Time पूछा और झापड़ मारा. He said 1 बजा है. So he was completely confused. क्या चल रहा है? So this person, he did not do anything. So some other person was standing, and he told him, "अरे क्या उसने तुमको मारा, तुम कुछ भी नहीं किया?" He said, "अरे उसका size देख के I understood. I prayed and thank God, thank you. 1 घंटा पहले नहीं पूछा. अभी तो 1 बजा है तो उसने 1 मारा. 1 घंटा पहले पूछता तो क्या होता था? So this person had no strength. That's why he kept quiet. But the devotees of the Lord, they are very, very powerful. Still, they do not retaliate. And the famous story comes about Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj, when he was, tried to be killed by a demon created by Durvasa Muni, he did not retaliate. He was just standing, although he was capable of retaliating. That is the glory of a great devotee of the Lord. So therefore, Sud Goswami says that generally the transcendentalists, though they are engaged by others in the dualities of the world, they are not distressed. They do not take pleasure in any material thing of the world. They are completely situated in transcendence. And there the 18th chapter ends, and now the last chapter of the first canto starts. And this chapter describes the glorious character of Parikshit Maharaj. What was his reaction after he heard about the curse? So, as Parikshit Maharaj he left, he reached his palace. All the while he was contemplating of his act. He repented for his misbehavior. He thought, oh, just see how sinful I am. The sage was completely absorbed in trance and meditation, and I misbehaved with him. He condemned himself, for offending a Brahmana. Very interesting thing Sud Goswami writes. He says that, Parikshit Maharaj, he not only expected punishment, he desired punishment. There's one thing to expect punishment. गलती किया है, मेरे को punishment मिलेगा. But he desired punishment. मुझे मिलना चाहिए. I want to be punished. Why? Because he says, if I'm not punished, the seed of the sinful reaction will stay. I'll commit the same mistake again. If I'll not get the reaction, my family members will get the reaction. So therefore, he did not want others to suffer. So therefore, he desired punishment. I should be punished for the sinful act. So the devotees, although they make some accidental mistakes, they regret and repent for those mistakes. This is a very, very instructive. As a sadhaka, we may have some faults, we may have some conditionings, we may do some mistakes, but what we should do, we should repent sincerely. As Krishna is also telling to Uddhava, Jata Shraddho Matkatasu Nirvinna Sarvakarmasu Veda Dukkhatmakan Kaman Parityagopyanishwaraha Tato Bhajet Mam Prita Shraddhalo Dharnishchayaha Jushamanascha Kaman Dukkho Darkam Shagarhayan. So Krishna is telling to Uddhava, O Uddhava, my devotees, his faith has risen in my pastimes. Jat Shraddha. Jat means to take birth. Shraddha, his faith has risen. Mat Kathasu, in my pastime. Nirvinna Sarva Karmasu, he has given up all activities of sense gratification. Why? He knows sense gratification leads to misery. Dukkha yonaya evate, yehi samsparshaja bhoga, dukkha yonaya evate. Sense gratification of this world is pregnant with miseries. He knows that Nirvinna Sarva Karmasu Ved Dukkhatmakan. He knows sense gratification leads to misery. Parityago Apyanishwara, still he is not able to give it up. Still, because of the conditionings, he is pulled towards sense gratification. But next verse is very interesting. Krishna is telling, Tato bhajet mam prita shraddhalo drirnichaya. Still, the devotee keeps on worshipping me with faith and determination. Shraddhalu drirnichayaha. All the while, dukkho darkamscha garhayan. All the while repenting for his sinful activities. That is the mood of a devotee. He repents. He repents for his sinful activities. And by this repentance, all the sinful reactions, they are burnt. So a devotee, as a conditioned soul, we will commit mistake. We have so many anarthas, conditionings. गड़बड़ तो होने ही वाला है, गड़बड़ करेंगे ही हम. But we should repent. We should go in front of the Lord. We should pray. My Lord, please forgive me. Because of my conditionings, I am doing so many sinful things. Please forgive me. I don't want to do it. Please forgive me. So as Parikshit Maharaj was repenting, Shamik Rishi, he sent one of his student called Gaur. So he told that you go and you inform Parikshit Maharaj that you are cursed by my son to die in 7 days. So please prepare for your departure. So this Gaurmukha arrives, and when Gaurmukha informs Parikshit Maharaj, hearing this, Parikshit Maharaj did not become angry. He did not become impulsive. He did not counter curse Shringi or Shamik. He, very interesting thing, just see the response of Parikshit Maharaj. He accepted this curse as a good news. He said, I'm very grateful because now I'll become detached from these worldly attachments. So Parikshit Maharaj, he was convinced about the goal. What do I want in life? He had everything, we discussed in the 4th chapter. The sages are telling about the qualities of Parikshit Maharaj. Namanti yat padaniketam atmana shivaya hani adhanani shatravaha. All the kings from all over the Bhumandala, Jambudvipa, they would come, they would offer their respects. He was the whole and sole emperor of entire Jambudvipa. He had everything in his life, whatever people desire, he had everything. Name, fame, glory, power, youth, everything, women, wealth, everything he had. But a devotee is not attracted by things of this world. Devotee is focused on his supreme goal. So his goal was to attain the lotus feet of Krishna. So therefore he gave up everything and he sat on the bank of Ganga with a vow not to eat. He was just focused on remembering and concentrating on lotus feet of Supreme Lord. And then Sudha Goswami describes the glories of Ganga. Ya Vailasa Shri Tulasi Vimishra Krishnangri Renu Abhyadikam Bunetri Punati Lokan Ubhayatra Sesham Prastam Na Seveta Marishyamanaha. So Sudha Goswami is glorifying Ganga in a very beautiful verse. He's saying this Ganga is the foot wash of Lord Vishnu. So when Ganga is washing the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, Tulasi Vimishra, lotus feet of the Lord is covered with tulsi and saffron particles. So all that Ganga is carrying the saffron particles and the fragrance of the tulsi from the lotus feet of the Lord. So this Ganga is purifying all the 3 planetary systems, upper, middle, and the lower planetary systems. So therefore, anyone desiring to purify himself, desiring to attain the liberation from this material world, he should worship, offer respects to Mother Ganga. So Parikshit Maharaj, he decided to fast until death. And the same Parikshit Maharaj, he could not bear hunger and thirst for some time, just some few days back. And now he decided to fast until death on the bank of river Ganga. So therefore, nobody should think that, oh, Parikshit Maharaj, he offended a great sage because of his bad temperament. He became angry. No. That may be in the case of an ordinary person. If somebody does not respect us, offer our of welcomes us properly, then we'll have all the grudges. Or kya kaise, even if he's a devotee, kaisa devotee, मैं गया उसके घर पे, मुझे पूछा भी नहीं, he did not give me anything, he did not give me good prasad. That may be for an ordinary person, but Parikshit Maharaj is a pure devotee of the Lord. He acted in that way because Krishna wanted him to act in that way. It was the supreme arrangement of Krishna, because Krishna wanted to manifest this book Bhagavatam. Therefore, for some time, Parikshit Maharaj's memory and intelligence was bewildered. And by that, Krishna wanted to take Parikshit Maharaj to the spiritual world. So Parikshit Maharaj, when he came to know that he will die in some days, he was fearless. He only desired one thing. He desired to hear the glories of Supreme Lord. And therefore, as he left everything and he went on the bank of the river, all the sages from all over the universe, they came to see the departure of Parikshit Maharaj, because they knew, all of them, they had mystic powers. They knew that now Srimad Bhagavatam will be spoken. So Sud Goswami describes the list of the sages who came. Atri, Chyavan, Shardavan, Arishtanemi, Bhrigu, Vashishta, Parashar, Vishwamitra, Angira, Parshuram, Indra, Pramada, Medhatithi, Devala, Arishtasena, Bhardwaj, Gautama, Pippalada, Maitreya, Kaushava, Kumbhayoni, Vyasadev, and the great personality Narada. All these great sages, they arrived there. So when these sages, they arrived, Parikshit Maharaj, he welcomed all of them. He made them sit comfortably, and he informed all of them, I have decided to fast until death. And then Parikshit Maharaj says, we have become most fortunate. Aho vayam dhanya tamane panam mahattamanu grahaniya shila. We have become most fortunate because all of you have come at the time when I am about to leave this body. Generally, the Brahmanas, they consider all the lower classes like a foot wash. But you have become so merciful. You have come to give me audience when I am about to leave. Just we hear the story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Sarvam Bhattacharya, he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that King Pratap Rudra Maharaj wants to meet you. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I cannot meet him. He is a Vishayi. I cannot see his face. So ideally, the great Brahmanas and the sannyasis and the sages, they they do not like to associate with the kings because they are absorbed in materialistic life. The Parikshit Maharaj is praying, oh great sages, I am very, very grateful to you. Prabhupada writes a very interesting purport in this. He says, in today's times, attached bathrooms and urinals, etc., they may be very convenient amenities of modern civilization. And if we have attached toilet and bathroom, that is wow, that is a great luxury. But in the ancient times, they were supposed to be situated at a far distance. In earlier times, people would eat in their homes and they would respond to the nature outside their home. Now things have changed. Now people, they eat outside and they respond to the natures called in their homes. That is how things have completely changed. So that's what Prabhupada writes in the purport about this. So Parikshit Maharaj, he offers beautiful, beautiful prayers. Next three prayers of Parikshit Maharaj, they are very, very beautiful prayers. So he's telling to all the sages, Tasyaiva meghasya paravaresho vyasakta chittasya grihesho bhikshnam nirveda mulo dvijashapa rupo yatra prasakto bhayama sudhatte. So Parikshit Maharaj is saying, because of my impure action, aghasya. What impure action? Impure action of putting the snake in the neck of this Brahmana. It was a great sin, aghasya. I disrespected Brahmana. That was a great sin I had committed. But Supreme Lord, who knows everything, he showed extreme mercy on me. I was so very attached to family. Vyasakta chittasya, my chitta My consciousness was completely absorbed in Griha. Griha Medhi and Grihastha. What is the difference? Griha Medhi means, Medha means intelligence. Intelligence of such type of people, they are absorbed in maintaining their family. That's all. They cannot think anything apart from that. So Parikshit Maharaj is saying, because I was so much attached to family, out of his humility, he's saying he was never ever attached to his family life. So therefore, Krishna Nirveda Mulo Dvijashapa Rupo, Krishna, he protected me by sending this curse of a Brahmana boy. Dvij Shapa Rupo. I became completely detached because of the mercy of Krishna. Then he says, he requests all the sages. Tamopayatam pratiyantu vipra ganga cha devi dhritachittamishe dvijopasrishtam kuhakastakshako va dashatvalam gayatha vishnu gatha. So Parikshit Maharaj is saying, O sages, you please keep on reciting the glories of Krishna. Please accept me, O Mother Ganga, O sages, please accept me as surrendered soul. Now I have taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Whatever that boy, the sage, the small boy has created, let that Takshaka come and bite me. I don't care. The Shatvalanga Yata Vishnu Gatha, you keep on reciting the glories of Krishna. And then next prayer is very, very interesting. He says, I have 3 desires. By chance, if I don't get liberated, I have to come back again on this world, in this world. I want 3 things. Punascha bhuyad bhagavati anante rati prasanga chatata shreyeshu mahatsuyamya mupayami srishtim maitrastu sarvatra namo dujebhyah. He says, I want 3 things. Bhagavati anante rati. Please give me intense attachment for the lotus feet of the Lord. Prasangat cha tad ashrayeshu. Please give me association of your devotees. Mahatsuyamyam upayami srishtim maitrastu sarvatra. Please give me friendship for innocent, all the living entities. I may be able to show mercy to the innocent. So if you analyze these prayers, these 3 prayers correspond to the 3 principles of Namruchi, Vaishnav Seva and Jivadaya. That is what Parikshit Maharaj is asking. And then he says, please give me this 4th thing also I want. Namo Dujebhya. Namo Dujebhya means, may I have respect for the Brahmanas. Because, Parikshit Maharaj just disrespected a Brahmana. So he's asking, please give me that mercy also, that I may be able to respect Brahmanas always. So all the sages, they were very happy. They congratulated Parikshit Maharaj for his determination and his desire. The demigods from the sky, from the heavenly planets, they showered flowers. They praised the actions of Parikshit Maharaj. And the sages, they appreciated, acknowledged, and they say, it is not astonishing that you are, behaving and acting these, speaking these words. You are coming in the line of great Pandavas. The great Pandavas, they are known for being devoted and completely surrendered to Krishna. Saratya parshad sevana sakhya dautya veera sananugavana stavana pranaman snigdheshu pandusha jagat pranatim cha vishnu bhaktim karoti nipatis charanar vinde. So the Pandavas, they were such a great devotees of the Lord that Krishna was becoming their chariot driver, messenger, companion. He was protecting them. He was taking care of the Pandavas always. Why? Because they were great devotees of Krishna. And sages are saying it is not so astonishing, because you are also in the parampara, in the line, you are descendant of Pandavas. Therefore, you are also acting in this way. It is not astonishing. And Prabhupada writes in the purport that human form of life is meant for achieving this end. The Pandavas, they were never ever captivated by the glare and the opulence of the material world. That is the quality of a great devotee. He never gets attracted by things, the glamour of this world. And Srila Prabhupada, he went to America. Generally, when people they go to America for the first time, they are in wow, awe and reverence. Oh, I'm going to America, a great land, you know. But when Prabhupada he went to America, he said, "Oh my Lord, why you have brought me here? This is a place which is filled with all the sinful activities. Who will listen to these words? Why you have brought me here? You know. But I think, oh my Lord, you have some work for me here. That's why you have brought me here." So the great devotees, they are not attracted by the glamour of this world. Srila Prabhupada was coming from a very successful program, and he was traveling in car with the devotees. He was looking outside at the great long skyscraper buildings. So the devotees were happy. So one of them saw that Prabhupada had tears in his eyes. So somehow they were confused. Everything went well. Why is Prabhupada crying? So one devotee asked Prabhupada, is everything all right? Prabhupada, with tears in his eyes, he said, we should save them. That is the vision of a pure devotee. He's not attracted by the glamour of this world. So therefore, hearing the resolve of Parikshit Maharaj, all the sages, they expressed their resolve. Parikshit Maharaj told, now I'll fast till death. Now the sages said, we have also made a decision. They discussed among each other. They consulted each other, and they came to this conclusion. They said, we will wait till Parikshit Maharaj returns to the spiritual world. So that was their resolve. So Parikshit Maharaj, he glorified all the sages and he requested them, please speak about Krishna. He said, "O sages, after proper deliberation, you think properly, please tell me the essence of all the scriptures." He asked two things. Please tell me the duty of everyone in all circumstances, and especially the duty of one who is about to die. These are the two questions Parikshit Maharaj asked the sages. Basically, Parikshit Maharaj asked how to live and how to leave, how to live and how to die. So these two questions, the answer to these two questions, they form the entire Bhagavatam. From 2nd to 12th cantos, they are all the answers of these two questions: how to live and how to die. So therefore, out of these two questions, the second question of a dying person, how to die, how to leave this world, this is more important. Because why? Because everybody in this world, he has to die. Everybody is a dying person. So when Parikshit Maharaj, he told them, please, you think and come up to the conclusion and tell me the essence. Kya karna hai mere ko? So all the sages, they started discussing on themselves, what is the essence, but they were not able to come to the common agreement. Which is the best process? Sacrifice, yoga, ashtanga, jnana, charity, tapasya, kya karna hai? The sages were not able to come to conclusion. So the sages, they desired the appearance of Shukdev Goswami at that time. They were thinking, oh please, my Lord, oh please send Shukdev Goswami. So as they were thinking about Shukdev Goswami in the mind, they were glancing at the path of the forest. And then as they were glancing, they were thinking, Shukdev Goswami arrived. Prabhupada writes in the purport that for spiritual salvation, there are so many prescriptions. Different people, they have different prescriptions. But the ultimate aim of life is to perform devotional service unto the Supreme Personality. And therefore, when Shukdev Goswami, he came, he was a 16 years old boy, just young person. He was very, very beautiful. But he was, looking like a madman. He was not wearing anything. He had no symptoms of any samskar. He was, being criticized, and he was surrounded by, ignorant women and children. They were making fun of him. Sud Goswami describes the bodily features of Vyasadeva. So Sud Goswami says that Vyasadeva, he was 16 years old. His legs, hands, thighs, arms, shoulders, everything was very nicely, delicately formed. His eyes were very, very beautiful. His nose, his ears, they were highly raised. He had a very, very attractive face. He had a blackish complexion, and he was, with his charming smile, he was attracting all the ladies, because he was a very beautiful person. Shukdev Goswami tried to cover his glory, but the sages, they were very, very powerful sages. They saw the symptoms of Shukdev Goswami, and they saw that, oh, all the symptoms of great personality is there in this person. All of them, they got up and they welcomed Shukdev Goswami. So just imagine, if there's a group of people, they are making fun of somebody, and you reach a place where all the big, big people are there and they get up to respect this person. So all the ladies and children, they become confused. Arey, kaun hai bhai ye? So they became afraid and they ran away. So Parikshit Maharaj, he welcomed Shukdev Goswami, offered respects. And Shukdev Goswami also offered respects to all the sages, especially Narad Muni and Vyasdev. His father and the teacher of his father, both were there. So Sud Goswami says that Shukdev Goswami he was surrounded by the sages. He was looking as if the moon is surrounded by stars and the planets. So Parikshit Maharaj starts speaking to Shukdev Goswami. He says, "O Shukdev Goswami, by your presence, you have sanctified us. Yesham samsmaranat pumsam shadyo shuddyanti vaigrihat kim punardarshana sparsha pada shauchashanadibhi." Just by remembering the great devotees of the Lord, one becomes purified, one's home becomes purified. What to speak of if somebody gets a chance to have darshan of the devotees? What if somebody gets a chance to take dust of the lotus feet of the devotees? What if somebody gets a chance to wash the lotus feet of the devotees? This is unimaginable fortune. So therefore, Parikshit Maharaj glorifies Shukdev Goswami, and he says that just by your presence, the greatest sins are completely vanquished. Then he says, why you have come here? Because Shukdev Goswami was not called. Unko call nahi lagaya. Now Shukdev Goswami, please come. Now Parikshit Maharaj is leaving. No. Yadrichhaya, out of his own accord, Shukdev Goswami reached that place. So Parikshit Maharaj is giving all the credit. Just like, we heard in the 15th chapter when Arjuna, he came back. What was he doing? He was giving all the credit to whatever things happened with the Pandavas. All the credit was given to Krishna. So Parikshit Maharaj, he says, Apite Bhagavan Prita Krishna Pandu Sutapriya Paitra Swaseya Prityartham Tadgotrasyatya Bandhavaha. So he says, because my great grandfathers, the Pandavas, they were such great devotees of Krishna. Therefore, Krishna Pandu Sutapriya. Krishna was very, very dear to the Pandavas. Pandu Sutta means Pandavas. So therefore, you have been sent by Krishna to deliver me, because Krishna is such a wonderful person. He does not just take care of his devotees, he takes care of the future generations of his devotees also. So Parikshit Maharaj is giving all the credit to Pandavas, and he's giving all the credit to Krishna. So Krishna, when he takes care of someone, he does not take care of just that person. He takes care of his future and past generations also. That's what happened when Narasimha Devi asked Prahlad Maharaj, please ask for some benedictions. Prahlad Maharaj said, please deliver my father. He was so sinful. Narasimha Devi said, what to speak of your father? Your 21 generations are already delivered. So therefore, Parikshit Maharaj is saying, otherwise it is not possible. So he's saying, O Shukdev Goswami, it is not possible that you could have come on your own. You are sent by Krishna. And then Parikshit Maharaj asks the same question which he asked these sages also some time back. So he says, O Shukdev Goswami, please show us the way to perfection. Please tell us the way to perfection for all the persons, and especially for one who is about to die. That is the question. And then, that is the first question. Two questions he asked. Second, He asks few more questions. He says, Yashrotavyam atho japyam yatkartavyam nriviprabho smartavyam bhajaniyam va bruhi yadva viparyayam. O Shukdev Goswami, please let me know what a man should hear, chant, remember, and worship, and also what one he should not remember, not hear, not chant, and not worship. Please tell me all this. So he asks these two questions, and he says, since it will be very rare to see you because you do not stay at one place. We discussed in the 4th chapter. Shukdev Goswami would stay at one place only for the time of milking of a cow. Sa godohanam matram hi. Till the time the cow is being milked, Shukdev Goswami would stay at one place. So Parikshit Maharaj is saying, because it is so very rare to see you, and you may leave very soon, so you please tell me all this. So therefore, in this way, he asked so many questions, and then when Shukdev Goswami he heard this, he began to reply. So that is the end of the 1st canto, and then 2nd canto will begin with the reply of Parikshit Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. If anybody has any questions, they can ask. Please give the reference of the 3 verses. Okay, so these are the prayers which come in the 19th chapter, 14, 15, and 16 verses. These are the 14th, 15th, and 16th verses of the 19th chapter of the 1st canto. So that is what is describing the prayers of Parikshit Maharaj. Very beautiful prayers. Okay. What is the meaning of Vrishni? Vrishni is the dynasty of Krishna. So that's why the dynasty of Krishna is called Varshneya. So Varshneya means the descendants of the Vrishni dynasty. Vrishni was one of the kings of the in the dynasty of Krishna, one of the ancestors of Krishna, from whom Krishna and the dynasty of Krishna and all the predecessors they have come. That's called Vrishni dynasty. Okay, anybody has any other questions? So let's see, we can continue. If Krishna desires, we'll continue. We'll complete this whole Bhagavatam. So all of you give your blessing so that we can continue speaking Krishna Katha. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.